Hello, everyone. We're going to discuss the DAO 2000-29, or the guidelines regulating the harvesting and utilization of forest products within community-based forest management areas. First is the introduction. So the DAO refers to a forest area that the local people manage, conserve, and use, often with government assistance or oversight. It is a nationwide plan put in place by the government under the Executive Order number 263, 1995, to encourage sustainable forest management by giving locals or the community, particularly indigenous people and upland residents, the tools they need to manage forest lands and woodland assets and sustainability. Uh, Basically, the local people, particularly at the uplands or the rural community, such as the IP groups or those who need uh, who are not belong in a urban setting, they have the chance to use the nearby forest for them to generate income or to practice sustainability. The first one is they give it a tenure. The community is granted stewardship over a certain public forest by the means of agreement of other qualifying factors stipulated by the DNR. So basically, before the DNR allows you to use that forest, the community needs to provide a firm CRMF, or the Affirm Community Resource Management Framework. And next is the Affirm AWP. So a annual work plan, and the RUP, which the resource use permit, and the ECC, which issued by the DNR themselves. Next is participation. The local community is directly involved in planning, decision making, and implementation. Basically, the community are the spearhead of this uh, program. So they are given a chance to manage and control the forest by their own means without breaching the terms and agreements between the community and the DNR. So even though they have the authority, but they also answer to the DNR and by maintaining the forest. So sustainability focused. Uh, Permitted activities in these areas include agroforestry, selective harvesting, reforestation, and ecotourism are focused on sustainable development. Basically, this statement allows the community to do activities within the guidelines of the government. So they conduct activities such as ecotourism, where uh, they allow people to enter or other people to enter just to conduct tree planting and observation of ecosystem. Also, uh, they allow people to hang out, so especially in uh, particular days, and also selective harvesting. They make crops, they plant crops, also they harvest renewable materials or renewable crops, as you say. Next is income generated. So from the name itself, it allows the community to do income by doing activities, as said earlier. So also, income from sustainable use of forest resource is shared among the community members, serving as a source of livelihood, harvesting like such as harvesting logs, timber, natural produce, and other agricultural crops. So One issue that was raised in this statement is how about those activities that uh, making coal or so people make coals like charcoals. So if they ask the government if they are permitted. So upon investigation, the government said that they are allowed to make calls in some cases as long as they practice it uh, without harming the trees or without overuse of resource materials. Next is conservation. This is a collective effort done by the community to protect and preserve the said forest from illegal activities such as illegal forestry, unsolicited mining, and wildlife hunting. So for the PPAs, the review of projects, programs, and activities, the first one is it is a quite successful one. It is a project mangrove forest management in Barangay Lasang, Davao City. This was partnered by the agency of the NR, the government, and also the Barangay Lasang. The context is an initiative in Barangay Lasang centers on the management and conservation of mangrove forests. With active participation from the local communities, the goal is through communities engagement activities such as mangrove planting, monitoring, and protection efforts. So as of today, this program is still running and they are quite successful. And also, as upon researching this program, not just the mangroves are preserved, but also the crabs, the mud crabs, and also other wildlife. Next is the Tagbanwa Sustainable Forest Resource Management Project, partnered with the local government, the LGU, and also with the DNR. So the context was the community holding both a certificate of ancestral domain. So basically, they are natives who live in the uplands, uh, and the CVFM agreement, sustainability management, and utilized forest resource within their ancestral lands, guided by an approved community resource management framework or the CRMF, an annual work plan, the AWP. So basically, they are qualified uh, to tenure the farmland or the forest rather. They regulate the harvesting of non-timber products such as rattan. So you can see in the picture, they are holding their products. And almasigo resin, honey, and wildlife fruits in line with DAO 2000-29. Controlled harvesting, yeah, replanting, and forest enrichment ensures regeneration, while income from these resources is shared among the members and invested in forest protection and community. So this program is quite successful by implementation. Additionally, the community actively conducts forest controls with the DNR to prevent illegal activities.
Review of projects, programs, and activities, PPAs. So in Compostela Valley, Mindanao, a people's organization planned to harvest 67,500 cubic meters of timber over 5 years. The goal? To support livelihoods and fund the forest conservation efforts while shifting reliance to plantation forests. But due to alleged violation like spot mining and illegal logging, the DNR suspended the Resource Utilization Permit or RUP, halting their activities and affecting their income. Currently, only Regions 11 and 13 in Mindanao are permitted to harvest forest resources under CBFM agreements. However, The agency is not stated due to conflict of interest and confidentiality among the mining corporation and its locals. The Prosperidad Reforestation Project in Agusan del Sur aim to promote sustainability forest management and support local livelihoods. It was backed by Asian Development Bank and DNR in partnership with local community group. However, the project was cancelled in 4 sites due to land conflicts, rebel occupation, and community resistance, highlighting the challenges of implementing conservation projects in conflict-prone areas. Their agency, Asian Development Bank, ADB, and the DNR. Findings. The cases highlight both strengths and challenges in implementing DAO 2000-39, which regulates the forest product harvesting in CBFM areas. So these are the successful cases. Projects like the Mangrove Forest Management in Barangay Lasang and the Tagbanwa Tribe Management in Palawan demonstrates the compliance with Article 4, Section 10, requiring an approved CRMF and AWP, a strong collaboration with DNR, LGUs, and the communities, promoted sustainable harvesting, replanting, and benefit sharing as outlined in Article 5, Section 4. Violation cases are such as the MPPFRDC in Compostela Valley violated Article 4, Section 9, leading to RUP suspension due to unauthorized activities. Similarly, the Prosperidad Reforestation Project in Agusan del Sur faced cancellation due to tenure conflicts and governance issues, violating Article 3, Section 6 on clear community tenure. Overall, these findings shows that while DAO 2000-29 provides clear policies for regulated and sustainable resource use, successful implementation depends on strong governance, community engagement, and strict monitoring. Projects that followed the CRMF and the AWP as required by Article 4, Section 10 achieve sustainable forest use and community benefit. However, weak enforcement and violation of harvest regulations under Article 4, Section 9 led to project suspensions and revocations. These cases reinforce the need for continuous capacity building, stronger institutional oversight, and transparent accountability mechanisms to uphold the intent of DAO 2000-29 and ensure the long-term success of CBFM initiatives.